you just never know what's going to happen, and you got to take that leap of faith. You might not know where you're leaping to, but just trust that it's all going to work out in your favor. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Julie. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you are returning, I'm glad you're here. If you could sense by the title of today's video, I will be talking about the time where my life changed drastically, but for the better. Little did I know what I was in for when I made this change, when I made this move, because it shaped me to be the woman that I am today. So let's start. I was 17 years old. Living in Jacksonville, Florida, and I was like, I need a way out, right? Naturally, school is always the way out for most people, right? Especially when you're that age. And that's what I did. And I always, like, since I knew who I was, since I was a child, I've always been gravitated towards fashion. Like, fashion has been, I guess, a part of me since I couldn't remember, literally. Like, a lot of people, you know, have troubles finding out what they want to do with their life. I never had that issue. I always knew that fashion was the route for me. Did I know what like avenue I needed to go towards? No, but I knew fashion was the city, and that's where I was going to land in life. And there was no shadow of a doubt. So in my head, my parents were like, oh, go to medical school. Oh, go be a lawyer, or go be a engineer. Like, those were really the only options for me as a first generation African girl, right? But I just always knew that if I followed my dreams, that the money, the opportunities, everything would align properly. And I was just like, I had nothing but faith. I was running on faith so much when I was a teen. And honestly, I admire myself when I was a teenager, because really I had no doubt. There was no doubts in my mind. I just knew what I was meant to do, and I was going at it full force, no matter the obstacles. And boy, were there some obstacles. But yeah, so I decided that I will get out of my small town by going to college. And the only option was New York City. There was nothing else. And everyone was saying, you gotta apply to at least 4 schools. You know, you're not always gonna get into your dream school, yada, yada, yada. I was like, bet. My God is great. He's gonna get me into that school. And he did. It came last minute, right? But I got in. And I was so happy. I was like, this is my ticket to freedom. Because honestly, I felt like I was in a cage, basically, in my childhood. And you know how I know this? I barely remember anything. I barely remember anything from my childhood, because I feel like I've been traumatized. And you know how they say, like, when you have gone through trauma as a child, you black out, right? So you might have been living it, but as an adult, you can't recall a lot. So I cannot recall a lot of my childhood, and I feel like I was just traumatized. And there's a reason that 17-year-old me wanted to get out so bad. Like, I didn't want to stay in Florida. I didn't want to be close to my family. I literally wanted to leave and start fresh all over again. Like, and that's exactly what I did. It was like very hard to do, because, you know, New York is very expensive, and 11 years ago it was really expensive still. But it was more affordable, way more affordable. So I applied to FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, and I just knew, like, the only options were New York, because that's the only place where you can really make your fashion dreams come true, especially in the continental USA. Nowhere else would you be, like, able to really make it a reality. Like, where else would I go to where I could have the opportunities that New York would offer me? There was nowhere else. Like, there were other fashion programs, but nothing compared to FIT. And FIT at the time was one of the best fashion schools in the world. So I was like, everything was aligned for me to go. Everything was aligned for me to succeed. And I did. Well, it took some time. It took a lot of time, but it happened, right? So I'm 17. It's August of 2014. Wow, 2014. August of 2014. I spent the summers living in Jacksonville, you know, soaking up the last of the warm, sunny air, because New York is cold. And I moved to New York all by myself. I had no help. And when I mean, you know, most kids who move from out of state, even in state, from their home to a whole new city or state, whatever, dorm, most of them are accompanied by their parents, right? Most, if not all, students are accompanied by their parents or family, somebody to help them adjust, help them move in. Like, this is a whole foreign it's a whole foreign thing for you. Like, imagine you're a kid basically, and you move to a whole new place. You don't know nobody, you don't know nothing. Like, you're so used to just like your environment and your home that this is all so new to you, and it's happening all so fast. And I was doing it alone. Like, it's crazy for me to like even think about it now. I don't even want to get emotional because I did it all by myself. Like, imagine being 17 years old and moving to the big city of New York by yourself. No help, nothing. I mean, like, I booked my own flight, got on my own flight. I mean, my best friend at the time, her mom did help me with that, so God bless her soul. Got to New York, got a taxi. That taxi was so expensive, and that ride was crazy. And I don't know, God protected me, child, because I could have easily been kidnapped from the jump. From the jump. There was this, like, as soon as I got off the plane, and this was my first time too on a plane, which was crazy. My first time on a plane was to leave and go to school. Crazy. But the first time I touched down in the city, people are like, oh, get a taxi, get a taxi. Like, my parents were like, get a taxi when you get there, yada, yada, yada. I did not get a taxi. I saw a black Suburban, and I was like, I'll take that. It could have been any black Suburban, right? But in my head, I was like, no, I'm gonna drive nice there. I saved all my money. I might as well get a nice ride into the city. That ride was not nice. It was far from it. It was terrifying. I thought I was going to die. The way this man was driving was insane. You know, luckily I don't know why. I guess he was trusting. He was an African man. He was a Senegalese man. So I was like, you know, I'm going to give my money to you. Not all these other people here. So I was like, you know, I'll give my money to you. But you was driving crazy. And the shit he was saying in the car too. I was like, sir, why are you spilling your beans to me? Like, talking about you're a bitch this, you're a bitch that. Focus on the road. How about that? And stop cutting people off. Like, that was the longest hour of my life from JFK to 27th Street. I literally didn't think I was going to make it, but I made it. And when I made it, I was like, wow, I'm really here. I'm really here. And that's when it all started. Grabbed my 2 large suitcases and rolled my little tush to my dorm room. And when I got there, it was fine. Except the fact that I was sharing a room, and back then I was like, Lord, let me just not share a room with like a weirdo or a crazy person. Like, let them not steal my stuff or touch my things or, you know, be loud, you know, just a respectable human being. And I tried to pick my roommate ahead of time, because there was this like forum on Facebook, yes, Facebook, when people used to use it, where it was all the new, what are they called, freshmen coming to FIT that year, and we were all looking for roommates basically. And so I had someone in mind already, but she wanted to move into like a different dorm, and I didn't want to move into that dorm because I don't remember the reason, but I didn't want to move into that dorm because you need like 4 people, and I was like, this is too much work. If I can't find one person, how the hell am I gonna find 3 more to be like my roommates? Because it was like a double room with the kitchen, bathroom, all that stuff. So it's more like a small apartment. And I was like, I can't find these people. I don't want to chat to all these people that I don't even know. And then it's like, what if they're crazy? What if they're weird? Like, I was like, I'd rather just take the risk with one, not three, you know? So she was like, nah, I'm going with that one. And so she dipped. Funny story, she's now like my best friend. But she dipped and she went to a different dorm. And so I was like, fine, I guess I gotta find someone else. So I found this girl. She seemed okay. Not anything amazing, just okay. You know, I don't know if we didn't really have anything in common, but it was more so like, I need a roommate, she needed a roommate, let's be roommates. And so that's what happened. And when I first met her, because she got to the dorm before me, and I think this is just all hitting me now, because like she got to the dorm and she had all her stuff there, everything was laid out. Like I was like, girl, how you do this so fast? Her parents were there. That's why. Her parents were there helping her. Her sister was there, I think, and she already had like half the room decorated. When I tell you, her room was like so pretty, color coordinated. She had like plush bedding. She even like rose her bed up a little higher so she can stuff things underneath. And then she had like drapes around. Like, she did a whole shebang over there. And mine was sad as fuck, because when I was broke, obviously, my parents didn't really give me any money. So me, I had to go and buy the necessities, like the bare necessities. I mean, I had to go get bed sheets and pillows and shower caddy, like those things. She had everything already set up, and I was like, wow, okay. You must have money. Your parents love you. What does that feel like? I'm sure my parents love me. But yeah, so we were very different in that regard, because I was literally by myself. And when I got there, I was like, damn, I'm really by myself. I guess I gotta pick up my sad face and head over to Bed Bath & Beyond to get all the shit that I needed. That's another thing. There was no like discount stores nearby, because I was on 27th Street. So I literally had to go to Bed Bath & Beyond and the Container Store, because that was the nearest thing. And you know, this New York City, there is no, I mean, there are cars, but you're not like driving in a parking lot, parking your car, going to the store, come back, throwing everything in the car, and then driving back to your house. No, right? Like you have to walk everywhere. There's very limited parking. I don't have a car, and nor am I going to take a cab 3 blocks for my stuff. Well, it wasn't 3 blocks. It was more like 6-7 blocks. But I was like, that's stupid to do that. It's going to take like 10 minutes to walk. And so I did just that. And that was like hardest workout that I've ever done to that date. Because the way I was dragging my bed sheets back to my dorm was crazy. I was huffing and puffing. I never knew pillows and bed sheets could be so heavy. But that day I found out. I like put everything away. I was so exhausted. I went to the dining hall to eat. And obviously I went with my roommate because her parents left by that time. And I was like, I don't know anybody else, so I guess we can go and get dinner. Went and got dinner. She was okay. Like, I think about it now, she was kind of weird. She was like a Disney, like one of those Disney people, like Disney adults. Obviously at that time you're not an adult, you're like 17, 18. So like technically you're an adult. You can vote, but you can't drink, but you're an adult. And she was weird, man. Like, when I say she was obsessed with Disney, she was obsessed with Disney. But, like, girl, you could, like, leave the house and do some other things. Like, we live in New York City. Go do something. You can be broke and have the best time of your life in New York City. I'm a testament to that. The way that I lived my life is crazy. I can't believe that, like, where's some wood? I can't believe I, like, survived that shit. I was so young. It's crazy what I was doing. But I had a lot. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Made a lot of memories. I met a lot of cool people. Did a lot of things. But I was real serious about my schooling. That's one thing that I could say thanks to my parents for is that they instilled education in me at a very early age. And that it was important, no matter what your degree was, whatever, right, to have an education. Graduated early, actually. That's also another fun fact about me, guys. I'm actually smart. I'm not just a pretty face. I'm actually smart. No, but seriously, I actually am. When I applied to FIT, I also applied to, like, I think it was FAMU, and then I also applied to some college in Chicago or near Chicago. None of them I didn't want to really go to. I was just doing it to appease everyone else around me because they were saying you were never going to get in your dream school, or don't just limit yourself to one option. So in reality, I knew I was going to get into that school. Because also, I applied as a transfer student. That's what I think set me apart, and that's what also helped me get into the school. Transfer students, I knew it was a lot easier, especially since I chose a business major. I went for, what was it, international trade and marketing, because I was like, if I can't be a fashion design student, then I will just work on the business side and be an international buyer. And that's what I really wanted to do, because I just wanted to be front row at fashion shows and travel the world buying stuff for whatever company I was working for. That literally sounded like a dream. I was like, I can do that. I can do that. I have taste, you know, I know how to analyze trends, you know. And even if I didn't, I was like, I'm gonna learn. That's the whole point, learning. And anyways, I say all that to say that education is important, and that is one thing that my parents instilled in me, and that I'm grateful for to this day. I honestly could have continued schooling, could have graduated with a master's degree at like 23. If I really wanted to, I could have been 23 with a master's. Just to say it, right? But I feel like it's not in me to be in school. Or maybe it's just like not challenging enough for me. I don't know. School was not hard, ever. It's never been hard. And I just was bored of it. I wanted to do something else that excited me. I guess working was it. It wasn't. Working was not exciting. The fun opportunities I got, now that was exciting. Like being able to go on a yacht for a party for work. Yeah. Now that was exciting. Having to dress and select male models. Now that was exciting. Going and setting up parties in a speakeasy in New York City. That was exciting. All at the age of, how old was I? 20. Going to Fashion Week. Now that was exciting. Meeting people I watched on TV, and actors and actresses and celebrities. Now that was exciting. The other stuff wasn't. But that stuff, those perks, they were worth it. They were worth it. You just never know what's going to happen. And you got to take that leap of faith. You might not know where you're leaping to, but just trust that it's all going to work out in your favor. Because it worked out in my favor. I just trusted my gut. And it was something that I was passionate about. And I think about this all the time. It's like, there's a reason that we have gifts and abilities, talents, you know. There's a reason that we're interested in certain, like, things, certain topics, certain crafts, certain music. We have these interests because it makes us who we are as individuals. And so when we lean into our individual interest, I don't know, I don't think it would guide us in the wrong direction, if that makes sense. So like, for example, me, I'm passionate about fashion. If I didn't choose the path where I knew I was going to be like in the fashion industry, because I always loved fashion, it's been something that I've been obsessed with, like it's something in me, right? If I didn't choose that, you would think everything else just wouldn't work out in my favor, right? Like if I decided to become a doctor or a lawyer, would I be the person I am today? No, the answer is absolutely not, because it's not something that's in my interest or something that I'm passionate about. It might bring me financial stability, which is great. I love money. I love to be financially stable. But would it develop me to be the person that I am today? To have these experiences? Absolutely not. And yeah, I might not have been rich, but if I never chose a path, if I didn't apply to FIT, if I didn't make those moves to New York City, knowing that's where my soul belonged at that age, like, it was in me to make those dreams become a reality. And I feel like a lot of people need to, like, be more in tune with themselves and the dreams that they have. There's a reason you're interested in what you're interested in, right? There's a reason I like clothes, like, a lot. There's a reason I like them a lot. It's my creative outlet, you know, as a human. And other people have different creative outlets. But if I didn't pursue that creative outlet, I would have never developed to be the person that I'm supposed to be. You know, I guess that's chapter 1 of moving to New York City. If you like this story, I don't think it was really concise, but if you like this story, give it a like, give the video a like, and subscribe. I'm here every week. I'm going to be consistent, and you know, my video is going to be a various range of things until I can figure out what's like sticking for me. I mean, I just did start this thing. Thank you for watching. This was all over the place, but thank you for watching, and I hope to see you, or I hope you tune in next time, because I will be here every week. Okay, bye.